Happy holidays, everyone. Sam here with Windy City Production. Long time no hear from. I am alive and well. Here to give you guys a brief update. Man, there's a lot that happened. My goal for this video is to keep it semi-short. You'll be hearing a lot more from me here now that I'm officially caught up. More on that here in a little bit. 2021 was definitely probably the most challenging year I've personally faced in our industry over the past 10-year history of us doing this. As many of you probably know, it was a record-setting wedding year. You probably attended many weddings. There were an extraordinary amount of reschedules, right, from COVID, of course. Man, the challenges, the success, and even the failures that we face over the past year have made it an unforgettable year, that's for sure. For perspective, Katie and I have had multiple 7 and 11 weddings. Yes, that's 7 weddings that we both personally shot in an over 11-day continuous day period, right? Multiple of those. Now, don't forget your average photographer shoots anywhere from 12 to 14 weddings a year. We just shot that in 11 days, multiple times over in a single year. Like, it was just absolutely insanity. I think we shot every day this year, but I think it was a Tuesday. Think about that. Like, it was just absurd. Just to put in perspective as well, we shot, I'm pretty sure, every single holiday this year, almost every single holiday, including the 4th of July, our wedding anniversary, Katie's birthday, Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend. Yes, we'll be shooting New Year's Eve, and probably many other holidays that happened. However, we do got Christmas off. It was a wild year. Like I said, it was a blessing. It was a lot of fun, but I do want to put some of these things in perspective. On the editing side, let's tackle that. Katie and I have edited every single wedding over the past 3 years. If our team shot it, Katie and I have personally edited every single wedding for the last 3 years. And this year, no exception, we did the same, right? And just like I had mentioned, I've literally finally caught up. I've edited every single wedding except for last weekend's wedding, but that will be on the agenda for next week. So tomorrow will be the first day off for me of editing since probably April. So I'll be spending that catching up on a lot of things. More on that in a bit here. My typical week, I just want to give you guys some reference to, and this isn't a whole spiel about feel bad for me, because like I said, it was a crazy year. It was a great year. There were a lot of wins, a lot of losses. It was a learning year, that's for sure, and that's the way I'm walking away from it. But I do got to add some context. My typical week since May was essentially shooting anywhere from 24 to 30 hours on average throughout the weekend, whether it was 2 or 3 weddings. That's typically what I'd shoot on average. After the weekend was over, straight at it as far as editing goes, Monday through Thursday, right? And if I didn't have a Sunday wedding or a Friday wedding, which was rare, I was actually editing those days as well. So, and that would typically be from like whenever basically I woke up till my eyes gave out at the end of the night, right? Easily 80 hours a week on average every week since basically May. It was rough, man, as far as the workload. That was crazy. It was wild. That's the wildest workload I've ever carried. And to think that all happened with some of the things that coincided with this year, including getting COVID. I know many people have had it. That was a journey too. So talk about wild. I'll chat about that. Of course, you know, you got your fever, your sore throat. For me, one of the weirdest symptoms I had was latency in vision. So it was really weird. Latency, think about it, if you turn your head, it would literally take like a second for my brain to like catch up and see like that I had turned. It was so weird. For drone pilots, like you're used to latency. It's what we deal with consistently, but man, trying to edit, because I had to edit straight through that. It didn't matter, like I was on timelines. I didn't miss a single timeline all year long. I edited through those. What a miracle. But dude, that was the weirdest thing ever, when you're making cuts and it would take a second for your brain to catch up, and then you go to look somewhere and it was just the wildest thing. It definitely made it a little bit challenging. Glad that's over. One of the wildest new phenomenons, of course, over the past year was experiencing essentially the shift in engagement season. So obviously we've done this 10 years, and there's a typical pattern you see, right? So basically you're looking at May through basically through first or second week of November is heavy wedding season, right? And it's just in time it starts to die off, going into essentially, as I call it, engagement season, right? Now I know these couples are already engaged. Many are getting engaged, of course, on Christmas, New Year's Eve, and some may have, just like I chatted or mentioned, already be engaged. So typically you are booking a ridiculous amount of weddings, and it always happens from December through March. You're going to book about 80% of your weddings, from my experience. That's what we do. Well, that was different this year. Literally the phone just blew up, and that blew up back in like the end of June, early July. Never seen that, never experienced that. Now that was extremely different, and definitely difficult, because if you're shooting all weekend, editing all week, and then you have 15 people trying to call you on a Monday or schedule calls with you to chat about booking, like there's just no time in the day for that, which is crazy. Like, I've just never experienced that. That was the wildest thing I've ever experienced. So we literally stopped booking. We just were like, it's not fair to the clients. Like, I'm not going to miss a deadline. I want to dedicate all that time to editing and making sure the edits are on point. And we just stopped booking, which is crazy. Wow. Of course, we had hard drives crash, computers gave out, camera gear broke, our email was hacked. That's an interesting story. COVID struck, and of course, Katie and I are adding our newest team member. We're so very excited and super proud and happy, and looking forward to that new journey. Thank you, thank you. I know, like I said, I'm sure you guys are giving us well wishes. Greatly appreciate that. Man, super pumped for that as far as that goes. I could chat forever about that, but I got to try to keep this video short. I'm already rambling. This is my problem. I know it. Either way, I'm just going to say that first trimester, now looking at the year that just happened, whew, that was a gut check, man. Trying to edit and having that, and you have a partner, a teammate who's, your other half, and, they're experiencing, a new journey, and you lose them on the editing side or phone calls. Dude, it was crazy. It was a wild year. Crazy. In summary, here's what I can say. If I looked back over 2021, there's no doubt in my mind I left everything on the field. I squeezed every literally ounce of commitment, energy, and passion I essentially had, right? I gave it all as far as that goes. There's no doubt in my mind. I can look back and I can be proud on that. If I or Katie personally shot your wedding, we brought it. We did everything we could to deliver a unique experience, and we had an impact on your wedding day for the better, right? As a leader of this team, though, I can also say we missed some marks throughout the year that I'm not too proud about, right? Some of those being, of course, delay in communications. That was a big thorn in my side as far as that goes. Planning for shipping delays and things of that nature, right? So there's definitely things that I'll be addressing, and it was a huge learning curve. Like, I learned more over the last year than I did as I did my master's program, It was that much of a learning, environment. It was wild. I feel like I keep saying wild, but that's literally the sum of what last year was. So where do we go from here, right? Briefly, because I feel like that's the point of this video. I wanted to give a little context as far as kind of where we came from and what we briefly experienced, and that's the tip of the iceberg, to be honest. Like, if I truly shared the reality of what last year was, it'd blow your mind. Like, you could write a movie skit about it. It was crazy. It was nuts. And one day we will tell or share all. And I think a lot of people will be like, wow, it's you can't put words to it, right? I don't want to tease it that way, but it was a journey. Either way, we're here. I can look back and I'm proud on it, and I'm going to learn, and we're going to grow, and we're stoked. And there were a lot of great things and a lot of great experiences, and we hit a lot of great marks. But like I said, there's still room for improvement. I'm going to be working on that. I'm committed to that. That's one thing I'm adamant about. So where do I go from here? I'm going to be shooting a lot of emails, so hang in there, all right? I'm back on the emails. I've not touched emails probably since May. Katie basically took over emails, and I don't think, from my understanding, has not been good. So thank you for your patience. I have not been there. I've just been full bore editing photos and videos as far as that goes. So I'll be shooting a lot of emails out, sharing, of course, album pickup details, tablet pickup details, a lot of other details. I know I need to add in a bunch of songs, things like that. Just streamline a lot of things, because from last year, it can get chaotic. So please help me out. Keep an eye out for those emails. More specifically, look at the details. I'm going to give some directions to really kind of streamline that to make life a little bit easier. As you can tell, this is a small Substack. God only knows how many wedding albums I had. So the deliveries are coming in finally, which is fantastic. And we're stoked about it. This is going to be one of my favorite elements that I can literally give you guys. Like I promised, we hooked it up. We're living up to it. Everyone that we said that we shot your photos, you're getting a wedding album. No questions asked. And video, same thing. I got stacks and stacks of tablets, all kinds of different ones. Those are coming your way. So keep an eye out for that email. We'll get through it. I haven't received all the albums. There should be a huge, another, God only knows how many. Like, this is a Substack. There's literally a stack more over in the office, way more. Probably 7 of these, 8 of these stacks. But there's more to come. So we'll keep you in tune. For those that I haven't received yours, we'll get through it. We'll get these to you. In addition to that, I'm also going to be double checking everyone's raw footage, making sure those uploaded correctly, because I think there's some that didn't get it. Making sure that your teasers are in the right spots, that your cinemas are there, that you had a chance to provide songs for us to update with your song selections. Once again, I'll be emailing some details to really help that out, because that was also a disaster as far as that goes. We'll get there. So thank you for your patience. We're going to get there. I'm going back through all this stuff. We're going to get it right as far as that goes. I don't. In addition to that, now that I'm officially caught up, gonna have a date. Well, finally, I got to get to it, right? Like, the one thing that has been like just gnawing at me is the fact I know typically we do our Christmas shoot at this time. Well, it was usually at the end of November. I'm so late to that, and I'm so missing doing that. There would be no better way to end this year than to literally get that Christmas shoot in. So yes, I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing it this Sunday. I'm going to be shooting it out. Of course, as you can imagine, I'm just going to be the only one shooting it. Katie, given the circumstances, she will not be out there shooting it. But I will. Super pumped about it. I know it's super late, but if you guys want to come out, I'd love to make it happen. I'll be shooting it. I know there's going to be limited space. So once you see the link drop, it'll be here on Facebook. Go ahead, do me a huge favor, sign up for it. Look forward to having you out here. Let's make it happen. Shooting it, capturing it, editing it, and delivering it to you as soon as possible. You're going to have that probably in 48 hours from the shoot. That's my goal. I promise we'll definitely make sure you have those photos before Christmas. In the past, I know it's usually taken us about 48 hours to have that fully edited. My goal is to keep that as far as that goes. Regardless, wishing everyone, if I don't hear from you, a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We got, of course, a New Year's Eve wedding coming up, so we'll be back at it shooting as far as that goes. Once again, just a brief update, guys. I can't thank you enough for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. I have some incredible couples where they've reached out and said, I can only imagine what you guys are going through. They know the stories. They've reached out to their venues, and they've heard where venues can't find staff to be in the kitchen. They literally have people who are supposed to be like at front desks in the back, stuffing chicken, all kinds of crazy stuff. You've seen at weddings maybe where you've attended, some people that are new to the industry, whether they're showing up in jean shorts, I've seen that, flip-flops, you name it, all kinds of crazy stuff. There's a lot that we learned, and I'm stoked. Let's get at it. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and keep your eye out for those emails. Thanks, guys.